영어 회화 level 3 Power English.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new week. I'm Kristen Cho.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Hope you all had a great weekend. Hey, Cam, how was your weekend?
It was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Nothing happened. You know how
I knew you would say that. I just knew it.
No, I'm always what they call a homebody, right?
Yeah, you're a homebody.
Yeah, I like to stay at home. So I just stayed home with my dog.
Is that what we call a Bangkok? Like, how do we say that in Korean?
So
like a homebody.
if you're a girl, I know you can say like a 집순이.
집순이.
And if you're a guy, I think you say 집돌이.
Okay.
Would be a homebody.
All right.
Yeah, you just like to stay home.
Good. Homebody. So home plus B-O-D-Y. It's one word.
Yeah. Are you a homebody?
I am becoming one. I feel like, because I do so much, sometimes I just like to be in my room and do nothing and just watch movies and videos and things like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that of course you have a family, so you're always having to do something. So
right.
I'm sure you need that time to
I do.
Just relax.
Yeah, that's right.
But,
What?
One of the big things you do is make kimchi.
Yeah. That's right. It's kimchi season, everybody. Of course, this month on Monday, that is our topic. It's kimchi season. I know that still a lot of Korean people are making kimchi this month.
Yes.
And into December. Let's start with the cabbage is our subtitle. 자, 김장철이 왔어. 배추부터 시작하자. Okay. I have a date. Did I tell you when I'm making kimchi?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, I set a date.
Oh.
Yeah, I get my cabbage on the 7th of December.
Oh.
So I like to wait for it to get a little cold. That's very important. If you do it, because I have so much. It's nice to have the cold, crispy weather. Yeah, so that's, it's coming.
So you're getting prepared.
I'm getting prepared. Okay. Here are some expressions that we're going to cover. As luck would have it. As luck would have it.
Yes.
What does this mean?
So this is an interesting way of saying by chance. It's often like, oh, actually, or, oh, it's a coincidence, but, and it's like something someone says is connected to something you already know or something you've already done.
And is this a good thing?
It can be good or bad.
Oh.
But the original meaning is good.
Okay. So it's like, I got kind of lucky.
Yeah.
Set up something.
So to set up, in this case, we're talking about preparing. So you're preparing before you're doing an action. You're setting something up.
Okay. If you are back to square one,
you're starting all over.
Oh, interesting. All right. So these are the 3 expressions that we're going to cover. Let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue.
I know we're going to make cabbage kimchi, but can you teach me how to make another kind as well?
As luck would have it, I brought some cucumbers with me to make oi kimchi. But let's start with the cabbage.
Okay, so I should cut these into 4 pieces and wash them, right?
Right. And I'll set up the salt water, the bowls, and the other ingredients.
What happens if you add too much of something, like fish sauce?
Then it's back to square one. So let's be really careful.
Okay, it's kimchi season. Let's start with the cabbage. We're on page 92. Okay, Tim says, I know we're going to make cabbage kimchi, but can you teach me how to make another kind as well? Right. It is not just the pechu kimchi, but we've got so many different types of kimchi.
Yeah, there are several hundred different types of kimchi, I believe.
And you have some preferences.
Well, I would say my favorite is probably pa kimchi. Pa kimchi.
Pa kimchi.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I like yormu kimchi.
Yeah.
That's good as well.
That's cute, yeah.
Yeah.
My son is a big buchu and pa kimchi kid.
Yeah?
Oh, he always has to have that.
But I hear like they have like tomato kimchi now.
Oh.
And I saw on the internet someone made mango kimchi.
I don't know.
But Tim is interested in not just the regular cabbage kimchi. He wants to try another kimchi as well.
Okay. And Alice says, as luck would have it, I brought some cucumbers with me to make ui kimchi. But let's start with the cabbage. Okay. As luck would have it.
Yes. So here Alice is saying, oh, you're lucky. In a sense.
Yeah.
And it's more the sense of a coincidence. Like, oh, funny you should say that.
Right.
I actually brought the ingredients to make another type.
Right.
The cucumbers.
Okay, cucumber kimchi, ui kimchi.
Yeah.
So when we talk about these different types of kimchi, I think we should just say the Korean word first and then describe it. Like ui kimchi, which is like cucumber kimchi.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
Buchu kimchi, which is like chives kimchi. I don't know what the proper word
Right,
is.
yeah. I mean, of course we live in Korea. Sometimes when you say the English translation of it, I think, oh, what kind of kimchi is that?
Right.
I have to think for a second.
Exactly. Okay, so what does Tim say?
Okay, so I should cut these into 4 pieces and wash them, right?
Yes, okay, good. And then Alice says, right, and I'll set up the salt water, the bowls, and the other ingredients. Yeah. Well, I mean, you cut up the 4 pieces, but you know what? You don't cut it all the way, right? With the oi kimchi. Yeah, you don't.
Right.
Yeah, because you have like a hole, and then it's like they kind of separate
right,
into 4 pieces. Yeah. Okay, so Alice says what? Well, she says, right, set up the salt water, the bowls, and the other ingredients. You know, salt water is a very important part in the kimchi making process. If you set something up, what does this mean?
You're preparing it. So it isn't just buying the ingredients, but this salt water, for example, you would know better than me.
Yeah.
You have to put the salt in the water and let it dissolve.
Yeah, right. Right.
So it's like every action before the main action, that's what you're doing to set up. So you're getting it all out, you're getting it all ready.
That's right. You're getting it all ready, okay? And Tim says, what happens if you add too much of something, like fish sauce? Okay. So Tim is a little bit worried about how much to use. What happens if you is our power pattern?
Yes.
What happens if you...
So this is often when you're showing concern about something. Either
yes.
you're not really worried, maybe you're a little worried.
Right.
This can be used when you're just curious. So Tim does seem, though, that he's a little bit worried that he's going to get the ratio wrong, the amount that he needs to put in.
Right.
So what happens if? Is it going to be a big problem?
Right. What happens if I make a mistake? What happens if I miss the flight?
Yes.
Right? It's a concern. You're worried. Like,
right.
Oh no. Yeah?
And in this pattern, we have you, but we're not actually talking about you.
Oh,
this you
right.
means like any person.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. It's a general statement.
Yes.
And fish sauce is very popular, you know, in Korean food. And what is that?
Yeah, well, I think you would know more.
Yeah.
What are the...
Well, there are different types of fish sauce, too. I mean, of course, you have, like, 멸치액, 까나리액, you've got, like, all kinds of, like, you know, like fish sauce.
Right.
So, and these Asian countries have their own versions.
Right, yeah. I know, like, Vietnam has a version.
Right.
And I think even, like, the ancient Romans
had
a fish sauce.
Right.
So it's different. It could be very different compared to the Korean ekjot.
It's interesting because when we first immigrated to the States, we didn't have, like, the 멸치액. I don't remember. But there was a Vietnamese fish sauce, a very famous company that most Korean people would use.
Oh, really?
And it was very tasty. And it still is. You can find it in Korea, too. Yeah. So, Alice says, then it's back to square one. So let's be really careful. So Tim is saying, oh, what if we do too much? Then Alice says, well, it's back to square one. What does this mean?
That means
back to square one.
Back to square one means you start again from the very beginning.
Oh, dear.
So this is a way of Alice saying, if we mess up and we put too much fish sauce in the kimchi, it's completely messed up. So we have to start over again.
Oh, no.
Start back at square one.
But here's another thing, too. If you don't put enough, that's not good either for the fermenting process.
It's chemistry. It's science.
It's science. That's right. You gotta, and it's a little bit, my mom always says, it's better that it's a little bit salty now than 싱거워.
Yeah.
Because later, it's not going to taste good.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
I know we're going to make cabbage kimchi, but can you teach me how to make another kind as well?
As luck would have it, I brought some cucumbers with me to make kimchi.
Yep. It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 94 and 95. As luck would have it means, oh, by chance. It's a coincidence. And it could be good luck or actually bad luck.
Right. The original meaning, I think, is good luck. But you know how Americans love sarcasm, right?
Sarcasm, yes.
Yeah. We might use it for something bad.
Oh, no. I got ink on my tie. What am I going to do?
As luck would have it, I keep an extra tie in my desk. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, it's bad that you messed up your tie, but, it's your lucky day. I have another one you can wear.
As luck would have it, Sean and I were on the same flight.
Oh, no way. What a coincidence.
Right. So that in that case, it's more of a coincidence. Right. So can we give another example with as luck would have it?
So if you want to do the negative.
Oh, negative, yes.
Oh, I was worried I was going to miss my flight. And as luck would have it, the taxi I was in ran out of gas.
The car broke down.
So in this case, it's like bad luck, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like, I was worried about not getting there on time, so I took a taxi, but then the taxi broke down, and I was late, even later than I would have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone, you have to really pay attention to the context. Because when you hear these expressions and if they use sarcasm, it could mean the opposite thing.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to listen carefully. As luck would have it. Okay, so like it's pouring rain. You know, it's suddenly just like it's a downpour, and then, as luck would have it, I have an umbrella in my bag.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You didn't plan, but it was lucky.
Yeah, I always carry one for a day like this.
Nice.
Okay. Set up something means to arrange, to assemble something. Do you know how to set up the folding table?
Sure. Just pull each leg out until it clicks.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, those tables that you can fold the legs under and put them away in a closet.
Yeah.
But some of them are a little complicated. Sometimes I can't figure it out.
Well, there's a button usually that like for each thing that you got to press down and then the leg folds.
And then the legs will,
Right. I set up an extra bed in the guest room for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this again is to prepare, but there is the feeling that you're preparing something physical almost.
Yeah.
So in our dialogue, she set up the salt water and everything.
Right.
She got the bowls, all the physical items out, and I guess put them in the floor so that they could be used. The same with this table. You're physically getting the table prepared to be used. And the bed here, it's not like, so you set up an extra bed. That means that you could pull the bed out, like an air bed or something.
Right.
Or it could be, you always have the bed, but it doesn't ever have sheets on it.
Oh.
So you put the sheets on the bed.
I see.
So that the guests could use it.
Okay. Another thing that I was thinking too is that maybe your company is going to an expo of some sorts and you need to set up a booth. Yes. So if you want to set up a booth, there are many things to do. You've got to get the tables, you got the presentation, the demonstrations, all of that stuff. You set it up.
Yes.
How about maybe in the conference room? What could you set up?
Oh, we set up some coffee and donuts in the back.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Okay.
If you get hungry or you get tired, feel free to have some.
Or you can set up a screen. For like, maybe a short video. Right. So all of these things are just kind of arranging and sometimes assembling.
Yes.
Putting it together is assembling. Okay, set up. Now, if you are back to square one, It means that you are starting from the very beginning.
Again.
Again? Okay. The bank refused to give us another loan.
Then it's back to square one for our business.
Yeah.
We aren't getting the money, so we have to replan the entire thing.
All right. After his experiments failed, it was back to square one for Mr. Edison.
Yeah, Mr. Edison. Like Thomas Edison, didn't he take like 1,000 times to figure out the light bulb?
So many.
Yeah.
Right.
So
many experiments.
Right. So this isn't where, something doesn't work, so you make a small change.
No.
Something doesn't work, and you're like, I've got to throw this away.
Throw it all away, yeah.
Got to throw it away. Completely redesign something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the feeling. If you're going back to square one, it's like you're starting fresh again.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can even start like a conversation or an interview. Let's go back to square one.
What do you mean?
Let's go back to our first question. You know how some people talk and they start talking and then they start talking about B and then they go to C and like they don't have they go everywhere in their conversation and then the one person like whoa. Let's go back to square one.
Okay.
What's your name?
Okay. Right.
Like going back to the most basic question that you were trying to start the conversation with.
Right. And so that's a good point because even when you have a problem and you can't figure this problem out, then maybe someone is going to say, maybe we should go back to square one, before all this happened.
Yeah, maybe we started badly.
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't a minor problem. Maybe it's the whole thing is wrong.
Right. Okay. Our power pattern today is what happens if you, which is like, I'm a little concerned. I'm worried. If this happens, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Right?
You're worried or curious about a result.
Okay. What happens if you put a soft drink in the freezer?
It explodes. Have you done it?
No.
Oh, it's cool.
Oh, wow.
It's messy, but it's cool. What happens if you don't go to court when you're supposed to?
You might get put in jail.
Yeah, you might go to jail.
Yeah, the police might come knocking at your door.
Right.
Okay. So sometimes out of curiosity, what happens if, or it could be like, what happens if if I don't do it? Yeah.
Yes.
Like you're
so
worried.
again, this you is not about you. It's more of a general, what if a person does something?
That's right. Okay. Our power vocab is the word fish sauce, 액젓. There's a nice definition on page 96. And what else should our listeners do?
Please go to Audio Hakdang for a small monthly fee. You can listen to so many great shows here on EBS.
All right. And please join us for evening special at 6 p.m. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Alligator.
I know we're going to make cabbage kimchi, but can you teach me how to make another kind as well?
As luck would have it, I brought some cucumbers with me to make oi kimchi. But let's start with the cabbage.
Okay, so I should cut these into 4 pieces and wash them, right?
Right. And I'll set up the salt water, the bowls, and the other ingredients.
What happens if you add too much of something, like fish sauce?
Then it's back to square one. So let's be really careful.